Hello, welcome to my art studio, and today I would love for you to paint this with me. This is a spring summer daisy and it was a photograph I took out of my own garden, and I just wanted to show you how you can layer different colours that you might not automatically think of to really give it that lifelike edge, but also with this impressionistic feel. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you love impressionistic florals, I do have a super accessible class, and I'll link that down below, to paint 3 floral impressionistic acrylic paintings together. So I'll pop that link below. But for today, let's get into the supplies that you're going to need to paint this. So I'm going to show you how to draw a simple yet realistic daisy. So the colours I've got is titanium white, red, yellow. This is Jenkins green, but you can use any green that you have. And this is phthalo blue, but again, feel free to use any blue because we'll be mixing it together anyway. And this is just a paper palette. This is a paper palette, and this is just a pad of paper that can be used for acrylic painting. And brush wise, I have a flat edge brush. This is 19mm one stroke by Galleria. The Galleria range at Winsor & Newton. So I'm just going to start off by taking some of the yellow, and let's just add a little bit of white to that. In fact, I might even add a tiny bit of red just to make it a bit more of a warmer yellow, like that nice rich tone. And then taking my brush, I'm going to start to kind of map out, carve out where I want my daisy. So you've got to think about the space around the daisy, and also think about that shape because it's kind of like a UFO shape. So I'm gonna make sure that it's not round. That's like the first thing that many beginners do, is just do a round shape. And actually when viewed from the side, it's kind of like this dome shape. Okay, and then what we can actually do with this now is take a little bit of the green, just a tiny bit, and we can use that just to pop a little bit of shadow there. And even you can pop that down the edges. Just a few little lines here and there underneath. Okay, and then rinse off your brush. And we're going to wait for this to completely dry. So when that's pretty much dry, we can take some of the white, and we're going to create just a little bit of blue for a nice shadowy colour. Also, I might add a little bit of green too. I'm talking very tiny amounts. Okay, something like this is quite nice. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take the shape of my brush, because I've got a flat edge brush, I'm going to use that to create these petal shapes. Now the biggest thing here is not to just mindlessly add on the petals of what we think it looks like, but we're actually going to really mindfully look at the reference photo and recreate that. So I can see that down this side there's quite a long one, and think about how big that is in comparison with the middle section. And I'm just literally going to put on a petal like this. And I'm going to start building it up. So I'm going to work this way. So next I can see there's a bit of a shorter one. Oh, there's another little short one next to it. And then there's like a bit of a fatter one. And there's another layer. So I'm just going to pop those ones on top. And it's just about working through each petal and just kind of replicating that shape. And I can see like a big one comes down here. And don't worry, like if you go over or anything like that, you can either use your finger just to bring that back, or we can go back over it as well. I might actually make this one a little bit longer. I might actually make a few of them a little bit longer. And I like looking at the angles, because you think very often petals should kind of curve upwards, but actually this one's kind of going down at this lovely angle. And then we've got some kind of going across. There's a few groups together here. And there's like a little gap. And it's totally easy at this point to go, oh no, it's not looking right, but trust the process. This is exactly right for this first layer. This is more like a map. There's no pressure on this to look good. This is just the map of where these petals are going. And I very often like to make the edge ones kind of come out the longest, actually, because I think that kind of brings in that nice balanced feeling. Okay, lovely. And then I'm just gonna pop a little bit of one here. If you've got any gaps under the kind of middle of the daisy, feel free to just block them in. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for that to completely dry and give your brush a really good rinse out. So mine's pretty much dry. Then I'm gonna take some of the white, and you can see that mostly I'm gonna have it on the edge of my brush. And I'm going to do the same again, but this time I'm going to be looking at the reference photo and picking out some of those highlights. For example, if I take some of the white, and feel free to like use the paint quite textured here. I really love with daisies to add some little kind of big moments of that texture and seeing those lovely paint strokes. And so just have a look at the reference photo, see where those like highlights are coming in. And just go over what you've already done, but make sure it's intentional, that it's not just literally going over it, but you're looking at where those lighter parts are. Like here, I can see that there's just a little bit of white and then the rest is this more shadow color. So we're kind of just adding on top of these shadows really. And again, don't worry about your middle bit, we'll go over that in a moment. And this is where you can be quite impressionistic as well if you want to kind of really paste on that paint. I just love it. And then I might take some of that white and also just make sure that I've gone around the middle again. Can even do like a little sideways one sometimes. Sideways brush stroke, that is. Okay, lovely. And then let's rinse our brush out, and then again we're going to wait for that to completely dry. So let's next go on to our middle section again. So what I'm going to do, we're kind of going to recreate pretty much what we've already put down. I'm going to have some of that green, and depending on what green you've got, I'm going to add some yellow till I get this really nice kind of very just middle green. It's a little bit limey. And then once again, I'm just going to use the corner of my brush to pop like that little bottom bit of the yellow down the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to rinse off my brush. And then I'm going to take some of the yellow, add a little bit of the red to get a nice warm, more orangey yellow. And I can see that this kind of comes in this edge really nice. So I'm just going to sweep that round. And then I'm going to rinse off my brush again. You start to see that it's still just layers, just layering it up. I'm going to take this green, if it's still wet, I'm going to add just a little bit more yellow into that and pop that little green nugget down again. And then rinse off my brush. I'm just going to get some more yellow. And you can see that as we build up these colours, instead of just having yellow, we're having the different variations of yellow. So we think about the colour wheel, we've got the yellow in the middle, then we've got this orange this side and the green this side. And this is how you start to use colour to really create a lot of dimension. So then I'm going to use the yellow straight from the tube. I'm going to use it really chunky, lots of texture, and kind of blend those different areas together.
Now I love impressionistic artwork, so it's up to you like how detailed you want to go. I kind of like my brush just relying on happy accidents and adding that lovely texture. So next what we're going to do is carve in with the background. So I'm going to take some of the green. I'm going to add a little bit of red to this. This is going to make it darker, and it's also going to take that saturation level down too. And I really want a lovely dark background because the contrast is going to look really beautiful. And then I'm going to take like the flat edge of my brush and have a look at my reference photo again and start to carve in the background. So this is kind of like negative space. So that's just that kind of dark patch around that petal. Then I can see it kind of comes in here. And I'm just going to start using these chunky brush strokes to kind of paint in negative space really. And this is where you can sort of redefine some of those petal shapes, like this one. So if you need more of that mixture, it was just green with some red till you feel that you've got a nice shade that you like. And I love that this colour mixture is transparent because it's got no white in it. There's nothing opaque in it. So it's kind of like layering on top of each other, and I love that. Sometimes I think we can try and fight a quality of a paint, whereas we should just use that to our advantage. Be flexible about that. So I'm kind of going in and starting with those areas where this background comes in, and then it's like spot the difference. I always just think it's exactly like spot the difference between the reference and your painting. And you can squint at your reference photo if that helps too. And feel free to change it if there's something that you don't quite like about how the background and the petals interact. You can totally change that, that's totally fine. To me, part of like using a reference photo is not to like have to copy it exactly, but to use it for inspiration. And sometimes that might even be just taking like one specific part of it. Or maybe even using a few different references. And then of course as well, we will want our stem. So, I just need some more green. So for that, what we can do is have some of that green and add some yellow. And that will make it lighter. You can add a little bit of white if you want to. But generally, sometimes I feel like the colour can get a bit chalky. So I like to use yellow to brighten it. And then you can take that colour and then pop down your stalk. And I kind of do the same. I pop down my stalk, make sure I definitely know where I like it, and then you can carve back into it if needed. With the background. And then once that's dry, there's the added option of taking a little bit more white and adding this kind of on the edge and just kind of going through with the reference photo and checking if you want to add any little like knobbles in between. Although I've just got all my paint mixed together. So preferably don't do that, just like I did. But even so, I feel like it just adds another element of that colour. And this is how I build up all my florals really, just by these different layers, because then I feel like the layers really kind of like build up and interact, and it allows you to be very kind of expressive and follow your intuition with your brush strokes and kind of building them up in this way so that it doesn't have to be rigid, and it certainly doesn't feel rigid. I mean, for me, something like this feels very playful and it's fun to put together as well. So I hope you enjoyed that little quick tutorial of how to paint a daisy.
Thank you so much for painting that daisy with me. It's the perfect way to get into that spring summer mood. And if you really like floral paintings and you'd like to paint more floral paintings together with me, especially in this more impressionistic abstract style, I will link a little class down below that you can join me. That's just $7 currently, and we can do some paintings together. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.